So in these questions we're given two examples of this function called power. We're told that power 2 of 8 is equal to 3 and power 5 of 25 is equal to 2. Hopefully you recognise from that 2 cubed is equal to 8 and 5 squared is equal to 25. So what this is really asking is what power of 2 gives an answer of 8? That's 3. What power of 5 gives an answer of 25? That's 2. So carrying on here, what power of 3 is 27? It's 3, because 3 cubed is 27. What power of 10 is 100? That is 2, because 10 squared is 100. What power of 4 is 16? That is also 2. What power of 4 is 64? Well, 4 to the power of 3 is 64. What power of 7 is 1/7? So now we're getting into our laws of indices. Well, 7 to the power of -1 is equal to 1/7. What power of 2 is root 2? We again are looking at our laws of indices here, and we get square roots when we have fractions. The square root of 2 means the power is 1/2. So 2 to the power of 1/2 is root 2. What power of 1/3 is 9? We've got a couple of things going on here. Well, we're going from 1/3 to 9, so the first thing we need is a reciprocal, which means it will be negative. 1/3 to the power of negative something will be 9. And then the second part is how do we get from the 3 to the 9? That's squared, so it's -2. Power 10 to a million. What power do we raise 10 to get 1 million? That is 6. Power 73 of 1. What power do we raise 73 to get 1? Well, that's 0. Anything to the power of 0 is going to give us an answer of 1. Power 0.01 to the power of, to give us 1000. What power do we need to get that? Well, this one requires a bit more thought. 0.01 is 1/100. So the first thing we need to think about is how do we get from 1/100 to 1000? Well, we need a reciprocal in there, so it's negative. And then the common sort of base of 100 and 1000 is 10. How do we get from 100 to 10? We take a square root, so we have a 2 in the denominator to get to 10. And then how do we get from 10 to 1000? We cube 10 to get to 1000. How do we get from 100 to a power of something to get to 0.1? Again, let's think about this. 0.1 is 1/10. So again, we need a negative because we've got a reciprocal going on here. And how do we get from 100 to 10? Well, that's a square root. So it's half. How do we get from root 6? What power do we need to get from root 6 to 1/36? Again, we need a negative here because we've got a reciprocal. And then how do we get from root 6 to 36? Well, root 6 squared is 6. So if we want that to be equal to 36, we need to square the 6, which means we need to square the root 6 squared. But that's the total power of 4. So it's -4. Power 1/5. How do we get from 1 to a power to get to 5? Well, actually, that's not possible. 1 raised to any power is going to be 1. It will never be 5. And this last question, power 2/10, how do we get from 2 to 10? Well, this one's a little bit different to all the others because we can't find a nice rational number that works for this. What we do know is that 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8, and 2 to the power of 4 is equal to 16. So we know that this has to be somewhere between 3 and 4. The power to get 10 has to be between 3 and 4. So maybe it's about, let's say, 3.2. I'm going to write ish there because we don't know exactly what it is. So this is the power function and how we can find what power we need to get from a base, that's the little number, up to that big number inside the brackets.